to day 2 of the 2019 CCX Media Turkey Trot Boys Hockey Tournament. It's our championship game tonight as tournament newcomer Moorhead takes on the defending champion, the Maple Grove Crimson. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken. And Dan, really exciting first night of hockey. We saw two very different games. Moorhead winning in a much different way than Maple Grove. Maple Grove Edina was a shootout back and forth, ended up 7-5. Moorhead, though, relied on some really good goaltending to beat Wayzata.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Mr. Hodges for Moorhead really stood up. He had a 9.64 save percentage, which is unbelievable, and he got throttled in the second period. 13 shots on him, and he didn't let any in, and they could have caved. But he kept him in the game, and Moorhead recovered and came back for a nice victory last night. Their senior class really stepped up, pumped in 4 goals, and got it done for them.
Yeah, they played a strong third period, pulled away to win it 4-1. And Maple Grove, you know, they had some kind of weird things happen, couple of sort of fluky bounces that led to goals for Edina, but they didn't really let that get them down. When they were down 3-1, they came storming back hard.
Well, out of all the teams in the tournament, I thought they're the ones that played the best. Played a whole game, all 3 periods, intensity up and down. When they got down 3-1, didn't bother them. They came right back just as hard. So they played very well. Their junior class really stood up, and they had 5 different guys scoring goals, and once they got it going, it was like pouring gas on a fire, because they came after Edina in a big way and made sure they punched them out, and they did.
Let's talk about key players to look at in tonight's game, starting with Moorhead, and a guy who had a nice productive first night, a wing on their first line, Caden Triggs.
Well, he got him started right off the bat with a goal, and they tied it up, but he's an all-around forward. He hasn't played that much. He's only got 9 goals and 14 points his entire career at Moorhead, so last night was a big game for him. But he's one of those seniors, they've been, the next guy up, and he stood up last night. That line he was on was good all night. It took them a while to get scoring, but they were always in motion, and they skated very well.
And for Maple Grove, we're going to talk about Sam Jacobs, and his coach, Todd Berglund, just said he's been on a steady climb up, getting better and better throughout his high school career. I thought he was great last night, even if he hadn't scored the 2 goals that he got.
Well, he had 2 goals, 2 assists, 2 power play goals, Guys like that can find the net and power plays to get the opportunity is great, but boy, he can move. He is big. He's got intensity to him. He's got great hands. He showed last night. He's one of the better players on the ice, and that's talking between Maple Grove and Edina. He was one of the top 2 players on the ice. He was fabulous. He'll be fun to watch tonight, number 21, as he stands out on the wing.
Obviously, there's a trophy on the line here tonight, and so you're looking to win a game. But I think both coaches probably also kind of wanting to see how their guys respond. Are they better on night 2 than they were on night 1, and can they continue progressing here early in the season?
Well, the real point of this tournament for the coaches and players is how are we going to get better? What we're doing, we just got started. Where are our holes? How are we going to get stronger? How do we build our strengths and stuff? And this is how you do it. They're playing really good competition, 4 top 25 teams in the state. So that's what they're going to look at. You're right. How better are we tonight than we were last night? Moorhead, they didn't play a whole game last night. I think Coach John Ammerman is just looking for it. Give me 3 periods of hard, intense hockey. And he knows if they don't, they're going to get killed, because Maple Grove brings it.
Teams scrimmaged up in Moorhead in the first week of the season. From accounts, Maple Grove probably had the better of it, but Moorhead was still putting their team together at that point. They got some great goaltending in that scrimmage as well, but all that's forgotten now. They'll be out on the ice for the Turkey Trot Championship coming up. Later on, it's the 3rd place game as Wayzata and Edina face off. Stay with us for more live coverage of the CCX Media Turkey Trot Tournament.
This holiday season, unwrap the possibilities with a Simonson Salon and Spa experience. Unrivaled hair, face, body, nail services, and beauty products for you or anyone on your list. Spa packages start at only $148. A holiday-inspired bonus gift is yours with a qualifying in-store gift card purchase. Shop our irresistible boutique for trendy fashions, gifts, and accessories in Maple Grove, Plymouth, and Coon Rapids. For dazzling online gift certificates, visit simonsons.com.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. Moorhead and Maple Grove for the championship here on night number 2 of the tournament. Jay Wilcox, Dan Ficken, and John Jacobson will join us ringside to speak with the coaches and have intermission guests as well in this one. Well, they each won a semifinal game to get here, obviously, on the first night of the tournament. Take a look at some of how that happened. Maple Grove scoring early and often. Edina actually had a 3-1 lead on them at one point, but the Crimson just kept on coming and capitalizing on the turnover there. Chris Kernan, a couple of big goals for Maple Grove. They end up winning it 7-5. And then Moorhead Wayzata. Moorhead, I thought, started well. Then late in the first period, they took a 5-minute major. That kind of killed their momentum. They were outplayed badly in the second, but then they came back with a very nice third, and that tip and goal kind of got them going in the right direction again, and they were able to pull away and beat Wayzata by a 4-1 score. That included an empty netter. So later it's Edina Wayzata for third place. And because Moorhead has such a long journey back home, they are playing the 5 p.m. game, and even though this is the championship game. We'll take a timeout. We will come back and drop the puck as the Spuds and the Crimson battle for the Turkey Trot title here on CCX.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
And welcome back to the Plymouth Ice Center, and thanks so much for joining us for CCX Media Turkey Trot Hockey here, hosted by the Wayzata Trojans. We want to thank all the folks here at Plymouth Ice Center, and obviously Coach Pat O'Leary and the Wayzata staff, but really all 4 of the coaches in the tournament too have been so great to work with, including the newcomer to the tournament, John Emmerman in Moorhead. He's a fun guy to talk to and doing a nice job in their program, and obviously hockey's a big deal for the Spuds in their community.
Well, you're kind of looking at the listing of their travel personnel. They've even got the bus driver listed. You know, it's a total community deal up in Moorhead, and yeah, it's a treat having them in.
There you see Hudson Hodges. He was good last night, and he's a good goalie. They expect him to have a really strong year for them, and he really did an outstanding job last night. Just stayed calm, too. It wasn't like he was having to scramble around. He was just in great position. He's a pretty good-sized goalie at 6'1". Jack Winicky last night had some ups and downs a little bit. 5 goals, but that's Edina that they're playing against, and I thought a couple of fluky bounces kind of contributed to that as well. So Jack is obviously a very experienced goalie, and they're expecting a good year out of him as well. As we are underway, Maple Grove is in white, Moorhead in black. They've actually designated Moorhead as the home team, which threw me for a loop because obviously in high school hockey it's normally the other way around, but went with the NHL thing tonight. So Moorhead is in black. And here come the Spuds as that first line had a good first night for them. Here's Luke Kramer going in deep after it. He's their top defenseman. Triggs picking it up, chopped toward the net. Intercepted there by Ethan Elias for Maple Grove. Tipped ahead off the stick of Kernan. That's going to be an icing against the Crimson as a little bit of an errant pass on that first shift. And I think the second night always has a little bit of a different feel, Dan, because now, okay, we've got our feet wet. We've got that one game out. It isn't so much nervous energy. It's more playing your style of hockey. But I think the excitement level when you're in the championship kind of carries you through and you're ready to go right from the get-go.
Well, if you won your first game, you don't expect a letdown. You expect improvement. And so far, Moorhead, what a nice move there. Moorhead came out real good. That first shift was good for them.
Cal Thomas up with it here. Drops it back to the point, and that shot deflected and then lost sight of it a little bit, did Hodges. As it deflects to the corner. Now that one thrown wide of the net. Parker Wenny getting to it for Maple Grove, trying to jam it up the wall there. They joust for it. Crimson come away with it. And that shot whistled wide by Cal Thomas, but Maple Grove, a good shift here, getting plenty of possession time in the offensive zone. Nice shot block there, though, as Lucas Fear got in the way of that one. The Spuds coaches definitely respect what Maple Grove has in terms of talent after seeing them in the scrimmages. They know they've got some players on this team. And we didn't really talk about it last night, Dan, but I thought it was interesting. Todd Berglund was telling us that, we were really deep in defensemen with this group, so much so that a couple of former D-men have been moved up to their forward lines. He said we just kind of made a decision and we needed to take the best players and we could work with them on positions, and that's kind of what's working out. So some of the folks who maybe played some D in Bantam hockey or JV hockey are being moved up front a little bit here.
Well, remember, it's not the X's and O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes that win the games for you, and you got to get your best players out there. Obviously, it was a good move so far. They performed very well. Maple Grove's being presented with a totally different situation tonight, too. They know that guy standing in the nets for the Spuds is the guy they got to beat, and they're worried about it.
Ooh, a near giveaway there, but Kramer gets it back. He leads the rush up the right side. Kramer kicks it in deep. Goes after it and gets it himself. Playing it out to the high slot. That one is off a skate as the shot attempt by Jonas Spicer never made it there. Spencer Dahlquist back to pick it up for the Crimson. Can't get it out though. Kramer shooting and a blocker save there by Winicky. Kept in at the line nicely by Grant Frisch. Dahlquist, that one takes a strange hop as it rolls along the dasher. Now the Crimson trying to break it out. First pass was interrupted there as Zick tried to bank it ahead. Now back into the Crimson zone, and they'll regroup and go again. Henry Nelson, who I thought had a nice game last night for them, number 12. Frisch back to it first for the Spuds. And they can't quite get it out. Nice aggressive pinch in there. Tap down to the corner, and Maple Grove continuing to try and get that puck in deep and then go forecheck. Jacobs comes up with it briefly and then kicked away from him, and here come the Spuds. That pass, though, does not connect and dumped right back in by Elias. Moorhead will float it out to center. Here's Elias to pick it up again. Has a little trouble with the handle there. Now gets some help as Nelson comes back and then gives it away. An opportunity here, and a pad save by Winicky as Carter Johnson was handed a great opportunity. Bad misplay in their own zone by the Crimson. Now Moorhead, and that one just offside as Cullen just thought he had waited long enough for his teammate to get back on side. Here's this
critical
turnover.
Error. Critical error right there, and that's one of the dangerous guys for Moorhead, Carter Johnson. He got an assist last night, but he was all over the place, especially in the third period. That's dangerous. Good save by Winicky, boy. He was right on it.
Yeah, I think you could make the case that other than their goalie, Johnson might have been their best player last night, or mix in Luke Kramer too, who's always going to be good in it as their top D-man.
What I also like too about both these teams is all 5 skaters have potential offensive abilities. The defense isn't interested in sitting back and just playing defense. They will rush the puck on both teams here.
Intercepted at center, thrown back into the Moorhead zone, but right back out it comes. Carried ahead here by Max Dronen, and then the shot attempt is blocked. Flip back out. And sometimes you think of guys who skate well, that being how it makes them effective offensively, but you're seeing guys with a lot of quickness to get back in and make plays defensively too because of it.
Yeah.
Dahlquist coming back to get it here for Maple Grove. He's cut off behind the net. Michael Overbo read that one and forced him back the other way. Now here come the Crimson. Sawyer Skansen. Skansen trying to get back to it. It's pushed to the corner. And now the Spud's able to come up with it. It hops over the stick, though, of Kramer and will be sent right back in. Kramer getting the pass here, fights through a check. But then he turns it over. Pass out front, an opportunity. Oh, and Hodges with the stop. The whistle sounded. The puck eventually came loose, but had it long enough. And Moorhead, it was their turn to cough up a bad turnover there, and Maple Grove getting an opportunity out of it.
Well, both goalies standing up here, they're getting tested right away with some bad mistakes by their teams. And, boy, Hodges almost lost it there, too. Didn't quite have it as secure as he thought he would. He got a whistle on it, but one of the turnovers will kill you. They'll kill you every game.
Nick Westfall getting an opportunity there for Maple Grove. Back out to the point, teed up. Ooh, it's off the tip of Hodges' glove on the shot by Cal Thomas. Fortunately for the Spuds, though, nobody really in position to put that one away.
I'm waiting for the Crimson to start turning on the physicality here. It's been kind of a mellow game. It's starting to get that way, but they start putting the hit on you, they can make you make mistakes.
Jacobs picking it up here. And then knocked back out to center. Rink wide pass is off a skate. Maple Grove will regroup as Wendy retreating here, looking for an opening off the glass, but that's going to be an icing call as he's trying to bank it ahead to his winger there, but did not connect. So 10:42 to go here in the first. No score on the board. Both teams a couple chances, mainly because of turnovers in their own zone.
Yeah, sloppiness has tended to be the hallmark of this game so far here. 10:42 left. Yeah, the other part, too, this is probably one of the only times, except for the holiday tournament and the sections or even the state, where they'll play consecutive days. They usually don't do that much, so we'll see who's got legs left.
Push to the corner by Kukkonen. Kukkonen chipping it ahead, and nice stick to get to that one. I thought that was going to be a great pass to Kernan.
Yeah, Fritsch made a nice play there for the Spuds.
Kramer getting it ahead. Johnson trying to go to the net, but nice play to cut him off there for the Crimson by Jacob Hicks. But Johnson will come up with it again. Johnson, a nice little move, puts it out front. And the shot pushed wide of the mark there by Cullen Jess. Now the Crimson looking to break it out. Look to go to Kukkonen, but there's Kramer to pick that one off.
Now, one player we want to focus on tonight, too, I think, is number 14 for the Spuds, Jess. He's our leading goal scorer coming back from last year's team, and he needs to pick it up a little bit. His line mates are playing well, but they're going to count on him to put some pucks in the net.
Knock to the corner here. Leafblad getting to it for Maple Grove, but then an interception. And they're able to stifle that chance as Overbo picked it off. Now Leafblad trying to come back the other way, rolls away from him though, and Moilanen sending it up. Now it bounces free in the high slot. Spuds get it to center, but no further there as then Tyler Oakland ran into a check. Flipped high into the Spud zone, and then they turn it over. And Hodges a save there on Ben Leafblad as another kind of careless flip up ice. I think both coaches are going to have a couple of comments for their guys when they come to the bench, and make sure you know where it's going.
I'd like to take the blood pressure monitors on both coaches right now after what they're watching.
And there we get a look at them. Todd Berglund of the Crimson on the left and John Emmerman of Moorhead there on the right. Those guys were having a good chat. Obviously they both want to win and everything, but they're both classy guys that are looking to do the right things with their hockey teams and everything too. They're not out there as enemies by any means.
It's fun to watch a relationship between the coaches, especially in this tournament. They all know one another. They get together quite a bit during the off season and stuff. They respect each other, and they enjoy competing against each other.
And Todd Berglund, you wouldn't exactly call it the Moorhead area, but Thief River Falls is where he hails from, so northwest Minnesota, a familiar part of the state for him. Long pass ahead, and that one's going to be just a little too far for Ian Barber, and it will be an icing call against the Crimson. They have not had nearly as much flow as they had last night against Edina, and I think you partially credit that to Moorhead, but also just maybe some nerves on the second night playing for the championship. So you get a look at John Ammerman, a couple of state tournament appearances for his team. In the JV championship over on Rink C, Moorhead and Edina are playing. In that one, they are tied 0-0 after one period. Back out to the point. There's a drive that goes wide, and then it bounces back out, but Crimson get there first. Chop toward the net again. Johnson trying to work his way off the wall with the puck. Now he comes up with it again. Ran into some traffic there. Tried to play it back down to Johnson, but Kukkonen got in the way of that. Now it does get to Johnson, trying to put it out front there to Triggs. Tyler Johnson up with it again. We're in that Captain C for Moorhead. And taken by Kukkonen. Knocked ahead off the shoulder of Kernan. Now Kernan picks it up, trying to center it. Pass was blocked, though. Is a good stick there by Cade Moilanen. Been kind of a quiet crowd here too, Dan. Everybody's just kind of settling in, watching. We haven't had a lot of great chances or big hits or anything. Just some hockey back and forth, and everybody's just kind of settling in. I think enjoying it, but not making a ton of noise just yet.
Well, it's you and I were fortunate that first game last night. I mean, right from the get-go, the intensity was there. Really well. It's not quite there yet in this game. It's kind of everybody's checking each other out and trying to get into a flowing rhythm. They haven't found it yet.
Push back down to the corner and banked off the end wall there. Nelson trying to spin out of trouble, but that one intercepted. Centering pass there from Lucas Fear.
Now, one of the big differences we're seeing here now, too, and good icing by Maple Grove there. The defense from Maple Grove. They're all experienced coming back, and Coach Berglund was talking about they're deep that way. How many shots has Moorhead gotten in the middle, in the slot area? They've gotten really nothing. Everything's outside or off to the side. Maple Grove's had definitely better chances in front of the Moorhead net, but of course then you don't need really good defense when you got Hodges in the net for you.
See Todd Berglund, 5th season at the helm. Should be a strong contender in Section 5 AA again. It's kind of it's over the years, Maple Grove obviously has had more misses than makes in terms of winning that section, but in recent years they've gotten through a couple of times anyway, and they figure to have a pretty strong chance this year. But obviously you got some other good programs, Blaine in particular, that has been a nemesis for them.
Oh boy. Blue is not one of the favorite colors in Maple Grove or Suburb right now. They have really handled the Crimson in those big section final games.
And it's Gids past Kramer, and they'll have to go regroup here for Moorhead. 6:05 to play in the first period. The Turkey Trot Championship, no score. Moorhead in black and orange and Maple Grove in the white. Round for Dahlquist. Now they get it across, and coming up ice is Barber. Maple Grove changing behind him, so he stops to wait for some help, and then got a nice pass onto the stick of Zick. Zick dropping it back. And it just couldn't quite pull the trigger in time there as Barber. I think if he had been a right-hand shot, he would have had an easier opportunity, but he had to kind of maneuver himself.
Take the back end. Yeah. It's okay. Take the back end. What the heck?
Nice pass over to Kukin, and then he's off the crossbar. I was ready to give it a goal call, but it drew some iron. The referee was in a good spot, and he quickly waved it off as Thomas set up Kukkonen for the quick release, and I thought that one might have hit net, but apparently it hits crossbar. Another look here.
Oh, hit the cross. Just that quick release by Kukkonen. Jeepers.
And the way it came downward, it was even kind of on the bottom half of the crossbar. He did not miss by much there. And Hudson Hodges, a little sigh of relief because that one had him beat. That not many goalies would have stopped that. Kukkonen's got a great shot, and it looked like he was going to give his team the lead. Banked across here now to Wente. Playing it in behind. They tried to bank it off of Hodges. Now puck coming loose and gathered by Triggs. Taken back at center ice there by Cal Thomas, and he'll throw it in deep for the Crimson.
Boy, one thing you should notice here too, remember last night how Wayzata was just charging in front and hitting Hodges and getting in front of the net? Spuds are allowing no Maple Grove people even close to that crease. Hodges hasn't been touched yet, and he's had a good view of every shot that's taken. They've cleared it out really nice in front, and that's helped a lot for them.
Yeah, neither team, I mean, again, just off turnovers is the only really good chances we've seen for the most part. That last one for Kukkonen was a nice setup, but we haven't seen a lot of traffic or a lot of difficulty for either goalie in terms of getting deflections or getting screened, and just hasn't been that type of game just yet anyway. Pass coming out front, deflected wide there by Matthew Gruss for Maple Grove. Spuds trying to break it out. They've been bottled up more than probably what they would like or what they're used to, though. Maple Grove's done a nice job of pinching off some of these breakout opportunities. Back out to Dahlquist, throwing it back down deep. They tried to go back to the point again, but it was broken up. Now it eventually will get to Dahlquist, and he slides it across. That shot did not get tipped by a spud, so it'll come outside the zone there as Hicks just kind of got that one maybe to roll up on edge a little bit and send it way over the net.
Yeah, that was falling through a little too high. The only thing I like about Coach Berglund's, the way he works, first of all, he's positive. I mean, that guy is more positive than anybody I know, but he plays an aggressive style. They will hold the blue line. They will attack you. Their penalty kills are attacking. They don't sit back. They're constantly coming after you, trying to make you make a mistake. They can take advantage of it, and it's worked for them.
Crimson getting it set up in the offensive zone again. Dahlquist throwing it to the net, and Hodges. That time there was a bit of a screen as Westfall cut across in front of Hodges, and Hodges just kind of had to take that one in the stomach and hang on.
He covers up so well, though, too. He makes his stomach and his chest real soft, so when that puck hits it, it just dies. So he just lodges it in there.
Yeah, there's so many nuances of being a goaltender other than just, get in the way and stop the puck. It's how you control rebounds, how you direct things back there, when to poke check, when not to, where to position yourself when there's traffic around you, all that kind of thing. And he seems to be the whole package when it comes to that. Moorhead right now having a lot of trouble getting the puck out of their zone, and here's a shot that goes wide from Hicks. At the same time, Maple Grove's not getting great chances out of it, but if you're Moorhead, you have to be concerned that eventually this is going to catch up to them if they're pinning their own zone as much as they have been of late.
Jay, generally you're right. We thought that last night.
Yeah.
I mean, Zeta just outshot him 13-3 in that second period, and they got nothing. But Moorhead's playing way better defense. Here we go.
Opportunity here now for Jess. He shoots and he scores. And the Spuds, after being pinned in their own zone, it didn't seem to bother him too much. They get a rush. It turned into a partial 2-on-1, and Jess able to pump it home, and Moorhead will take a 1-0 lead.
Jess scoring his 14th career goal for the Spuds. As I said, he was the leading double-digit goal scorer coming back for this team, and last night he didn't see too much or hear too much from him, but all of a sudden he gets an opportunity and he snipes it. Great shot. They're coming in. He gets the Spuds off to a 1-0 lead here.
Maple Grove got caught up ice a little bit there, and Jess able to take advantage. Johnson and Wyatt Gunkel will get the assist on the goal.
After the goal, Maple Grove came right back with their top line at Kukkonen and Jacobs, and they created an opportunity. Jacobs almost got her through there.
Redo this one as they rule that Zick was in illegally and will be tossed out of the circle. Crimson win it anyway, but then the pass back to the point was read and intercepted, but they don't get it out. Here's an opportunity and sailed wide by Thomas. Maple Grove defensemen have been missing the net more than they'd like here in this first period, and that one will be in. It banks in off Hodges. I think it was really more of a centering pass, but it'll wind up in the net as Hodges was just turning, and I think it's going to be Zick who will get credit for it.
Yep, I think so.
And so Maple Grove on the board. They quickly tie it up.
Well, they're coming back, Jay, again. Nice play. I got it down low. I don't like the fact that he missed the shot, but they took advantage of it. Good move down low here. Poked it in.
Yeah, off of the stick, actually, of Hodges. He was maneuvering, and you see this one just banking off of him. Never got to its intended target, so Zick will get credit for the goal for Maple Grove, and that shot went just wide.
Finally, a little chink in the armor of Mr. Hodges there.
It'll be an unassisted goal for Zick. And so Maple Grove didn't take long to tie it up. 34 seconds after Moorhead's goal, they even it up at 1. see if that kind of opens things up a little bit. Sometimes you see that happen in the game where it's kind of tight and not a lot of chances, and then things get going a little bit when one team, or in this case both teams, get on the board. That pass missed, but they wave off icing. Chased down by Gruss. Nice reversal there. And then the pass too far, and Kramer will pick it off as we approach a minute to go in the first period of this Turkey Trot Championship. Moorhead won, Maple Grove won. A pair of goals here late in the first period. Taken away by Kukkonen. Kukkonen bringing it in, fires, and shot it high and wide. He didn't have a great angle anymore by the point he took the shot. And now the Spuds coming back the other way with Caden Triggs.
See, that's the problem I have with the missing the net. He had Jacobs coming down the slot for a rebound, but now it slides wide. Moorhead gets it, and they got an easy breakout.
Chopped away there, and a quick turnaround shot put on by Triggs. Gunko back to get it here from Moorhead, being pursued there by Sam Jacobs. And then this one was off a Maple Grove stick as Dahlquist will run it down here. Under 15 seconds to play in the first period. Goes off Kukkonen skate. It comes out front to Carter Johnson. And then the shot attempt pushed wide of the mark by Fear. Couple seconds to go, and that is going to do it for our opening period. So interesting first period. Not a ton happened in the first 15 minutes or so, and then each team getting a goal late in the period, Dan, only 34 seconds apart. So overall, interesting period.
Yeah, good defense being played. Took care of the turnovers that we saw. Good defense improvement a lot by particularly Moorhead in this period. But right now, okay, got the first period out of the way. They're going to make some adjustments here in between the periods, and we'll see what we get in the second half. I expect a higher and heavier pace, a little more physicality in the next period.
We will take a timeout. We're going to be hearing from Moorhead coach John Ammerman in just a moment as you look at some of the memories from past Turkey Trot tournament snapshots. It's the 18th year now, and some great memories even just looking at these pictures. So hope you enjoy it. We'll come back with our first intermission in a moment.
This holiday season, unwrap the possibilities with a Simonson Salon and Spa experience. Unrivaled hair, face, body, nail services, and beauty products for you or anyone on your list. Spa packages start at only $148. A holiday-inspired bonus gift is yours with a qualifying in-store gift card purchase. Shop our irresistible boutique for trendy fashions, gifts, and accessories in Maple Grove, Plymouth, and Coon Rapids. For dazzling online gift certificates, visit simonsons.com.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Welcome back to the Plymouth Ice Center after one period in the championship game. Turkey Trot Boys Hockey Tournament, Moorhead and Maple Grove tied up 1-1. Joined now by Spuds head coach John Ammerman. And John, 4 periods into a season, there's always things that you like and don't like. What were your thoughts in the first period of this one?
I think the period as a whole was a step in the right direction. I thought early we were kind of standing around watching. I thought towards the middle we did a nice job of getting the puck below their goal line and making them defend. We caught a break on kind of a broken play to go in and score a goal, and then unfortunately we just don't advance the puck past our blue line. 2 or 3 guys swing by and they come back and tie it up. So we're back at even. It was an okay period of hockey, and hopefully it's a step in the right direction going forward.
Maple Grove's got a lot of speed. What do you try to do to combat that?
Well, we just need to take better care of the puck. We were careless in a few areas, and thankfully Hudson made a few nice saves, but just defend as best we can and take care of the puck.
All right, thanks. Good luck the rest of tonight, and safe travels home tonight, too.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
John Ammerman, head coach of the Moorhead Spuds. Again, they're tied with Maple Grove 1-1 after one period. We're back with more of our first intermission from the Plymouth Ice Center after this. Welcome back to the Turkey Trot Boys Hockey Tournament at the Plymouth Ice Center. First intermission here of our championship game between Moorhead and Maple Grove. And I'm joined now by Eric Halverson. He is the manager here at the Plymouth Ice Center. And Eric, I can't believe as long as this arena has been around, it still seems new to me. Right? It looks great.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, we try to do a good job of cleaning up after ourselves. And the Youth Association, the high school teams, they treat this as their home rink, and they treat it like their home. So they try to pick up trash as well. We just want to make this facility as comfortable for all of our guests that come here. It's a regional building, really. We get a lot of different teams throughout the region and the state of Minnesota.
How important is those partnerships, though, with the local youth hockey associations and the high school teams that use this facility?
It goes a long way. If we have a great facility, then people want to be here. And the Youth Association's grown in membership. I think they're just around 2,100 members right now. And that goes a lot to this community right here. And they help maintain this ice center and make it what it is today since 1998. So.
New lighting this year, which I know wasn't a small project. Tell me about that.
Yep, so we put new lighting in with LED lights. We had fluorescent tubes in here before. It was about a $160,000 project, and we're hoping to pay that off within 2 to 3 years with our energy savings that we're going to be getting. It took about 2 months to do, and we're really excited about the players are really enjoying it. We've got a lot of compliments on it. There was a person watching the other day, and they could see when someone made a cut, all the little ice shavings go up just because the lighting is so much brighter now.
What other improvements do you have on the horizon here?
Yep, so next year we're going to look to put new dasher boards in Rink B. Rink B has the original dasher boards from 1998, so they've gotten their use, and they've been great boards. So next year we're going to be putting in new dasher boards in around May.
We've had this pleasure of doing this high school hockey tournament over Thanksgiving weekend. You've got another one coming up during the next holiday between Christmas and New Year's here, right?
Yeah, December 26th through the 28th, we'll have the Plymouth Tradition Classic. It's going to be the first year of that tournament. We're conjoining with St. Louis Park. They have 8 teams there. We'll have 8 teams here. Wayzata will be here, and a bunch of other local metro teams, and plus Cloquet from way up north will also be competing in that tournament. So we're looking forward to that. We're gearing up with staff, so if you have people that are looking for jobs right now to drive Zamboni, work in concessions, we really could use the help right now, and we're looking forward to that tournament.
You know, when we're here, obviously we're focused on hockey, but you have other users besides just your high school teams and your youth teams, right?
Correct, yep. So we have Minnesota Hockey. They bring in all their high performance camps, so they help select their select teams. And then we have some AAA stuff here in the summer, and then just a lot of random tournaments throughout the summer and winter months that we try to bring in. We have our skate school program, which is a community event, and they teach kids how to skate so then they can filter into youth hockey or just know how to skate. You live in the state of Minnesota, you got to be able to do something outside in the winter months, and that Learn to Skate program really does that for us.
Outside of the Tradition Tournament next month, any big tournaments coming in the next year here?
Yeah, so we'll have the high performance stuff here again in April like we usually do, and then a few other AAA tournaments coming in. This year we're going to be the host of the Junior Gold Playdowns at the last week of February into March. So we usually have that once every 5 years or so. And so that'll be a big thing. That'll be a week-long tournament. And Wayzata Youth Hockey does a really great job at securing those type of tournaments for us.
Eric, thanks for being our host this weekend and continued success here at the Pick.
All right, thank you very much.
Eric Halverson, the manager here at the Plymouth Ice Center. We are through one period in our championship game of the 2019 Turkey Trot Tournament. It's Maple Grove 1, Moorhead 1. More hockey from the Pick right after this.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual. And she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center as we get set for period number 2. Moorhead and Maple Grove tied up at a goal apiece as we check out the highlights from the first period. And the scoring chances early were generally off of turnovers. Both goaltenders making some nice stops. There's a very near miss for Kukkonen that I was halfway through a goal call. I thought it had gone in, but it hit that crossbar. And then here's the goal that they do get. Cullen Jess coming up to him on the partial breakaway there, and he made no mistake. But then only 34 seconds later, Maple Grove will get it back. See, shot attempt going wide, and then watch Zick trying to center it, and it goes off the stick and maybe skate of the goalie Hodges and goes in. So he gets the goal, Grant Zick, for the Crimson, and we are evened up at a goal apiece. You see the shots relatively even with Maple Grove a slight edge. No penalties in that first period either. Not a whole lot of hitting. There was just some strategic checking here and there, but relatively clean first period. So we'll see what transpires in periods 2 and 3 here. The Turkey Trot Championship continues in just a moment here on CCX Sports.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Never gonna let you go. Never gonna let
Both teams back out and loosening up for period number 2 as you see each team getting one goal in that opening period, and see how what adjustments are made, if any, here. Moorhead, I think, is going to be looking to try and do something a little bit different in terms of breaking the puck out. At least later in that period, it felt like Maple Grove was doing a nice job of reading and pinching things off, and those are the kind of little adjustments that you have to make here in period number 2. Overall, relatively well played period. Here and there, some scattered. I wouldn't say it was great, but it wasn't bad either by either team.
Well, I know in Coach Emmerman's mind, this is the period he wants to get improved in a big way. Instead of spreading it out a little bit more, maybe do some wide passes, maybe fly a wing out just to pull that Maple Grove defense off that blue line because they've been pinching so hard.
Here we go in period number 2. Wayzata and Edina will play for third place later on. That kind of tells you that it's a quality field in this tournament. Not that often in any tournament where. And there's a quick goal for the Spuds. Triggs knocks in the pass from Jess, and Moorhead strikes here 19 seconds into period number 2. Triggs had an easy opportunity courtesy of his line mate there as Jess tapping it around the defenseman and then just put it right on the stick of Triggs.
And now they got all 3 guys in that line, Triggs and Jess and Johnson going now. Yeah, that could get scary. Oh, there it is. Got that far wing on the right side one, just broke it, spread it out. That's going to force Maple Grove's D to back off from pitching on that blue line.
Johnson and Jess get the assist on the goal by Triggs. Nice setup out of the corner, and then really good hands there by Jess, it felt like. I mean, he wasn't exactly all alone there, but he was able to kind of work the puck around the defenseman a little bit and then just put a perfect pass. Triggs, you know, you give him credit, he was in the right spot, but you didn't have a lot to do other than just tap it in after Jess set him up so nicely there.
A lot of times he goes in the right spot, but the puck just doesn't seem to get there.
Right.
And Jess got it to him. That's a goal and assist for Jess already today, and that's a good sign for the Spuds.
Here comes Zick, who has Maple Grove's goal. Trying to turn the corner there. Kramer riding him off, though. Pass blocked, and then it went off a skate as they tried to center it. It hit Jonas Spicer's skate and all the way down. Winnicky will stop it for Dahlquist. Dahlquist fighting off a check there, but got spun around a little bit. And they can't get it out. Here's a shot, and Winnicky's going to glove that one and hang on as Maple Grove just tried to throw it out up the wall, and Frisch intercepted and threw a shot on net here. So Moorhead striking early in the period to take a 2-1 lead. Another look at it. Good work out of the corner there by Johnson. Then you see the great hands and great pass. And nice job, too. You know, this is a little thing, but something that's important is Triggs was able to keep his stick free. Kernan was there trying to back check, but he was able to make sure that Kernan couldn't tie him up, and that gave him enough room to get it away. Here's a 2-on-1. Kukkonen carrying it in. Kukkonen fires, and it's off the shaft of the stick of Hudson Hodges. I think really actually the right idea on where to go with that puck for Kukkonen, but just hit the stick above the blocker there. Hodges just getting a piece of it.
Well, he had one coming after that first one, kind of bounced off the back of his skates or his stick, but you know, when you're a good goalie, good things like that happen a lot.
Kukkonen a couple of near misses in this game. The one off the crossbar in the first period, and then that one. And even though, you know, just for the moment, that's frustrating for Kukkonen. If he keeps getting chances like that, he's going to have a great year.
Yes.
Pass goes awry as it's taken behind the net by Moorhead. Maple Grove, we were talking to Coach Berglund before the game about, you know, how they responded when they fell behind Edina last night, and he said that the one thing he really liked is the guys stay positive on the bench. There isn't, you know, a lot of finger pointing or head hanging. I mean, obviously it's early in the season. You don't know what's going to happen the rest of the way, but he said at least initially this group responded well to a little bit of adversity.
Yeah. Well, these guys have been playing together for a long time, too. It just hasn't been a Maple Grove High School hockey. They play Bantam hockey. They know each other pretty good, so, et cetera. But, you know, there's a contrast to Moorhead. Their senior class seems to have picked up. I mean, everybody that scored in this tournament basically is a senior. It's just the opposite from Maple Grove. It's the juniors that have stepped up and played, and bodes well for, obviously, Maple Grove, especially this year and next year. But the Spuds, well, maybe there's another state tournament run in them this year.
Yeah, in some ways it's, you know, it's almost more impressive to me when teams are consistently fighting for a spot in the state tournament than, you know, obviously you'd like to get there every year, but when you're in the hunt all these times in a row, you're doing something right as a program.
Yes.
Back out to neutral it comes, and a battle for it there. A pass just knocked away from Dronen. Now it comes loose in the slot, but falling down was Overbo, so he tried to get it lined up to shoot it. Sent back into the Moorhead zone here. McCoy Gregoire back to play it. And then an interception at center, but given right back. Dronen taking it for the Spuds. Shot partially blocked there. Now a stick laying loose, almost got in the way of that puck. Back the other way we come, 2-on-2. Nice little move. Centering pass. Oh, and it just gets away as it was behind Thomas. Tyler Oakland trying to come free with it here for Maple Grove. Now Landon Gunderson, the freshman, 37 out there for the Crimson. They're looking to finish up a change here. They got the short change here in this period for their offensive zone. Try to go back to the point with it and dump down deep by Kernan. Carried ahead by Zick. Here's a shot. That one is blocked as Johnny Franklin got in the way of it for Moorhead.
I don't care what you say, that hurt.
He got up in a hurry though. Here's Dahlquist shooting, and a catch made by Hodges. Edina leading Moorhead 1-0 in the junior varsity championship over on Rink C. That is through 2 periods as we get another look at this shot coming in. Hodges stopping it with Landon Gunderson right in his lap.
That's one of the few times I've seen somebody in Hodges' grill there for the Crimson.
Puck bounces loose out to center, and that one's going to be an icing. And the Spuds, we'd like to thank our telecast sponsors for this year. Again, Malmberg's Garden Center and Nursery, and Simonson Salon and Day Spa. Thanks for their help in bringing you the broadcast here from Turkey Trot for 2019 here on CCX Sports. And again, Moorhead new to the tournament this year, and they are leading Maple Grove 2-1 here in our championship game, but plenty of hockey to go. We're early in the second period, and that pass just sliding across the goal mouth, then a shot thrown on, and Hodges the stop. Can't get it out though. Elias playing it down deep, and then that shot from the circle goes wide of the mark as Kukkonen fired.
Spuds continue to play good defense here, Jay.
Here comes Carter Johnson. Down he goes, and play goes on. No penalties yet in the game. Here's Jacobs dropping it off. Then Jacobs gets it back. Tried to go to Kukkonen. They eventually got one on net, and Hodges a pad save. Picked up again. Centering pass here, and the net has come off. And we'll get a face-off in the Moorhead zone. Boy, pretty much every time this, Kukkonen, Jacobs, and Kernan line is out, they seem to generate at least one chance.
Yeah, they've got their legs moving and stuff, Kukkonen, and he never saw a puck he wasn't willing to shoot, and he's got some good shots. Another funny thing, too, is I watch these games, and boy, the net comes off a lot on Hodges' side. Not to imply that it's strategic or not, but
that pass deflected up off the glass and kept in, and bounces to the corner. Pass behind the net, almost intercepted. Then it got to Gramer eventually, but they can't get it out again.
Ooh.
Little knuckler floating in on Hodges. Maple Grove again getting things set up in the offensive zone. To Moorhead's credit, even though they've been bottled up, they haven't still given up a lot of great chances, though, when Maple Grove has had some dominance in terms of time of possession.
Well, they're covering in front. I mean, we looked at that last rush by Kukkonen and Jacobs line and stuff. Boy, nobody was getting a wide open shot or uninterrupted shot. They were being tested and defensed.
Winicky a glove save on Fear, and then for the first time in the game, we get things getting heated up a little bit in front. Winicky couldn't quite squeeze that one, but he pounced on it in a hurry as it fell back to the ice, and that's where the traffic came in. As you get another look at that shot, struggled with it a little bit, and then one more jab than Maple Grove wanted to see there from Max Dronen. I mean, it was legit that the puck was loose for a moment, and he went after it, but he kept on jabbing at the goaltender, and Maple Grove didn't like it.
That's where it got ugly in that Maple Grove Edina game last night.
Yeah, that one was very contentious, very high pace, a lot of chances, a lot of hitting. Some after the whistle stuff, especially down the stretch. Ooh, I'm glad to see Dahlquist bounce up on that. He fell awkwardly there.
Yep.
Pass tipped ahead and recovered. Then the next try, though, was knocked away as Giuliani tried to control it and get it over to Skansen.
The Crimson just can't get clean here, Jay. They can't create a 2-on-1 out there, but the Spuds are back checking well. They're getting their sticks in the way. Playing good defense.
Spicer was knocked down, then Moylan tried to carry it ahead. Now it squirts free, and the Spuds able to get it back here. Nice D-to-D pass there, but deflected. Giuliani getting his stick in there again. And that pass is too far as they try to get Kai Holm going, and icing call against Moorhead here. 9:39 to go in period 2, and a 2-1 lead for John Emmerman and the Spuds.
Spuds, Coach Hammerman's got to be really happy with the way his team's playing right now. They're playing very steady against a very good team that's bringing some intensity. They're getting outshot, but they really don't care because the only one that counts is the score.
Banked high off the glass. Crimson came up with it briefly and then dumped on out. Carter Johnson trying to get through there, but nice poke check by Elias. Battle for the loose puck. Maple Grove got it briefly, but Kramer comes up with it. And he runs into the linesman, and Maple Grove will get their turn with it. Pass across to Nelson. Nelson shooting. Ooh, and that one handcuffed Hodges. And it pops up in the air and out of play. We will get another whistle here. And kind of get the feeling maybe that a fair amount of whistles is probably more to Moorhead's liking right now. Yes. Maple Grove just hasn't been able to really get flying like they were for a good chunk of last night.
Yeah, busting up that rhythm. But you see opportunity here that just kind of fluttered, went off the top of Hodges, I think, and just bounced out front. Doesn't happen too often to them, but they're covering so well in front, nobody can take advantage of that little mistake.
Dumped out front, backhand try is stopped as Kernan put it on net. And this puck deflected. Maple Grove will have to retreat and track it down here. Kukkonen gets the pass away. And an interception there. And then Jess throws it wide of the net. They bring it out high to the point. Here's a shot, and Winicky off his glove on the attempt by Gregoire. Now here comes Jacobs, getting the return from Kukkonen, putting it out front for Kernan, but his stick was tied up. Then bounced out to center. Dig for it along the wall there and sent in. It takes a crazy bounce. Winicky found out the hard way what happens in this rink sometime. Now here's pass ahead to Jacobs. Leaves it for Kukkonen. Centering pass off a skate, but Kramer is there for the Spuds. Chance for a 3 or 4 on 2 here. Kramer cutting to the middle. Kramer shooting and missed the net. They had a little traffic in front going too as Maple Grove was caught in a change there. Alongside the net, trying to bring it out front and jamming home was Max Dronen. Long shot there, didn't make it to the net as Kukkonen blocked it, and then he'll sweep it on out. This is going to be icing against Maple Grove, as Kukkonen's line had been out there for quite some time. They were tired and looking to just get it clear once he blocked that shot. And instead it goes all the way down the rink, so we will come back into the Maple Grove zone here for another face-off. Moorhead leading it 2-1. 7.5 minutes to go here in the second.
Well, Maple Grove ought to try to start flying the wing or two. Get some pacing and break the spacing that Moorhead's holding them to, restricting it. Open up the ice a little bit for themselves.
Franklin coming up with it for Moorhead, but then lost it. Sent on out there by Gruss and a race for it. Moorhead able to get back and break it up. And then chopped in by Tyler Oakland. Hodges leaving it for Kramer, and he'll relay it around for Grant Frisch. And they give it away at the blue line, though. That shot blocked. Kramer banked out to center, where it's picked up by Thomas across. And it'll be thrown on in by Dahlquist.
Offside?
Offside there, it looks like.
That's those benches are in the wrong position in the second periods. I haven't seen Maple Grove's got another notch they can go to, and I haven't seen them go there yet, Jay. I don't know if it's the good defense by the Spuds that's slowing them down, but they just don't have the same pace as they had last night.
Parker Winnie up with it here for Maple Grove. Pass drop back nicely to Thomas as the defenseman jumping into the play here. Tried to get it out front for Zick. Pass intercepted here by Gregoire. Up the left wing it comes now for Overbo. Going to the net. Winicky the stop. Couldn't cover it though. And then a scramble in front. Maple Grove able to clear it out of there. A pretty good opportunity with the backhand by Overbo.
Overbo's a horse, isn't he? we saw him last night in that third period. He finally lifted it. He's pretty good in the second period too, but he's a big boy, and he gets running around. Looks like an express train coming at you, and he went right at the net here. Just watch this nice play. Gets a little move in front of the D and just brings it in backhand, takes the hit from the D, and he gets inside the net there.
Boy, and I like the way once he kind of got the shoulder squared ahead that he went straight at the net there. And you're right, he's 6'1", 190. They've got, in their first couple lines, they got some good-sized wingers. Jess is 6'1", 185, and Triggs weighs 190. So for high school hockey standard, that's pretty solidly built.
Yep.
Played back to the corner here. Johnson trying to come up with it as he is bumped by Elias. Keeps on fighting through, kept the skates moving. Johnson dumping it to the corner. 5.5 minutes to play now in the second period. 2-1 Moorhead is our score, but here's Kukkonen. Kukkonen coming hard as Jacobs joining him. Kukkonen tried to pass it, and a nice play by Frisch to break it up. Now Moorhead coming back the other way with Triggs. Leaving it over for Frisch and back to Triggs. Looking out front with that, but it's broken up. Knocked across now to Gregoire. His pass off the skate of Kukkonen. And played back in deep here. Gregoire will come back to get it. Maple Grove finishing up a change. Jess carrying it for the Spuds. Jess firing, and a stop by Winicky, and it goes out of play there. Jess, I think, did a nice job of looking like he was maybe going to keep that puck and pass it. Here's Kukkonen, and you see pretty good D here as they try to crisscross and create an opening, and he was looking over there for Jacobs, but
Frisch got that stick over in that passing lane real quick. He didn't know it was going to be there. He thought he could get behind him, but did a nice job there because that was a good opportunity.
Shot deflects away now to Gross.
Okay.
And that one will bounce out of play, and another face-off.
Oh, we see the Grove now. You see they're starting to fly wings behind the Moorhead defense and try to pull them back, open it up a little bit, and that creates some more odd man rushes. When you look at it from the fact that you got a goalie you're facing as good as this guy, and now the defense for the Spuds is playing very well, you got to do something to kind of break all that up a little bit.
That pass off target, and an icing call against the Spuds, and we will come right back down. A lot more whistles, it feels like, in the second period than there was in the first. First one just kind of sped along back and forth. A lot of stoppages here in period two.
Played that first period in less than 30 minutes.
Dump back out to center. Dahlquist backhanding it ahead there to Oakland. And they relay it around and in. Kramer back to pick it up. Maple Grove coming hard with two on the forecheck there. Kind of get the feeling that they've been telling on the bench, we got to get some more jump in our step here. We got to go forecheck hard. We got to go hit some people maybe a little bit. There's a shot, but it's blocked. Turnaround try knocked down. For Maple Grove, they just want to increase the pace here, however they're able to do it. Pass drop back, and that shot was blocked as Dronen got into a little traffic. Flip back out to center. Around it comes to Kramer from Gunko. Had the linesman ducking out of the way out of that dump in. And a near turnover there for the Crimson, and they will ice the puck here. And back into the Maple Grove zone we'll go with 3:22 to go here in this second period.
Well, early in the game we were watching Maple Grove. When they got in the attack zone, they'd kind of take it up top, give it their D, they get some point shots, stuff like that. But the Spuds were just tacking in so tight, they couldn't get anything going. Okay, now they're getting down low and trying to work with their forwards coming in from underneath the faceoff dots and having three come in on who's ever sitting there for the Spuds.
Long race for it here, and Hodges clears it out. Thrown back into the Moorhead zone here. Hodges will stop it.
Check thrown to free it up, and a shot hammered wide by Wente. Zick throwing it across, back for Wente. Oh, and then he was looking for Barber, but the pass was behind him. To the point it comes. That one deflecting off the defenseman wide, and then a rebound try as Maple Grove just flinging pucks at the net right now, trying to get something going. This one cleared off the glass and out. Long race for it here. Wente will get there.
High stick. But we haven't seen a lot of those in the tournament. I think that's only the second one. High stick call. So the Spuds now with 2:33 left get a face-off inside the Maple Grove zone. It's been a while since they've been down here.
Crimson win the draw, but then that pass is off target and will come down the rink for yet another icing call here. Not been real artistic second period.
Nope.
Off the draw, it's poked to the corner here. Henry Nelson there to get it. Kernan trying to get it out, but it was blocked by Jess. Jess for Johnson, and the deflection there, and Winnicky got a piece of it and then wasn't sure where it went as it popped high in the air over the net. Really nice setup there by Moorhead's top line there again as Jess looked out front for Johnson.
Well, Maple Grove got away with one there too. Johnson took a hit from behind there after he tried to jab it in. This line's really coming around for the Spuds.
We've got ones versus ones out there right now.
Yep.
Dumped on in by the Crimson as Hodges comes out to stop it. Kramer relaying it around. Can't get it out though as it's played back to the corner. Frisch took a bump there. Jacobs comes away with it for the Crimson, putting it out front for Kernan, but it was knocked away. Here's a shot that deflects just wide. Played back around. Can't get the puck out. That shot deflected, knocked down, and then thrown back out to center where it's picked up by Elias and relayed right back in by Henry Nelson. Carter Johnson carrying it for Moorhead, but broken up nicely there by Nelson. Flip back in deep. Moorhead looking to finish up a change. Maple Grove trying to look to take advantage. Here's Kukkonen. Kukkonen waiting, and his shot attempt is blocked. So we're under a minute to play now in the second period. A strong check there and knocked Russ down. And then that shot thrown wide of the mark. Played back down deep, but again, not able to connect. It's kind of a way that most of this period has gone. Maple Grove's had a fair amount of possession time, and there's a shot that bounces wildly around. Not sure if that one ended up hitting Hodges or just the player in front. Little pinball effect. Let's get another look at this one. See, it hits the shoulder. Yeah, you might be right. As after it hit Leafblatt's shoulder.
I think it hit the pipe. Well, that's as close as an opportunity as they've had in this game.
.27 seconds to go in the second period. Moorhead trying to get out of the period, maintaining a lead. Maple Grove just about tied it up right there. Thrown to the front, but intercepted by Gunkel. Overbo pushes it in deep around the D and hustles after it. Comes up with it, putting it out front, but that shot partially blocked as Dronen tried to fire. And the Spuds coming out of there with it again. Winnicky gets a piece of that, and it goes up off the netting. We'll get another whistle. 2.9 seconds to go in the period. And Moorhead generating a late chance in the final 10 seconds there.
Well, both teams in this last minute have gotten some golden opportunities here.
here's where face-offs are pretty big. You definitely don't want to lose this one cleanly if you're Kukkonen. Even a stalemate would be all right. And that's what he gets. Falls on the puck, and the period is going to come to an end. So Moorhead netting the only goal of that second period, and it came just 19 seconds in. And so they will take a 2-1 lead into the second intermission. I think doing a nice job down a frustrating Maple Grove.
Yep, totally. Doing a great job. Their defense is way better tonight than it was last night. And they're matching a physical for physical, too, with the Crimson, which I wasn't sure they were going to be able to do. So, I don't know, Crimson they got to pick it up that notch. We know it's in them, so we'll see if they can get that adjusted in the second half and kind of figure it out. I would imagine some lines might get shortened here by the Crimson, too, in this next third period.
So the Spuds looking to win the Turkey Trot title in their first season in this tournament, and played a solid second period. I mean, you wouldn't say they dominated or anything like that, but they get the only goal, and they just did a nice job defensively at fighting Maple Grove off. A couple of near misses here and there, but all in all, they didn't really let the Crimson get started and fly in like they showed the ability to last night, and like we kind of know they can. So in that way, Moorhead kind of having its kind of period, I think, there.
But playing a lot more of a complete game, both offensively and defensively there, and combined with the goaltending that they know they're going to get night in, night out, they're kind of finding their game right now is how they're going to be throughout the season.
Let's go down now to John Jacobson.
Welcome back to the Plymouth Ice Center after 2 periods of play in our championship game of the Turkey Trot Boys Hockey Tournament. It's Moorhead 2, Maple Grove 1. Joined by Crimson head coach Todd Berglund. And Todd, what has Moorhead done well to frustrate your scorers so far tonight?
Well, I think they've executed their game plan pretty well. They're moving their feet and they're winning battles to pucks. Something I told the boys after period 1, we're getting beat to pucks, and we got to ramp up our efforts. So they're playing their game plan well. They're working hard. They're grinding us, and they're doing all the right things.
How much do you enjoy this opening weekend of play, though, just to kind of get a sense of what your team has, even though it's only 5 periods of hockey so far?
Well, I absolutely love it because of the competition. You're going to have 4 really good teams that can compete really hard. You guys do such a nice job with this tournament. It's fun for the kids, exciting environment, and it's a good way to start the year regardless of when it hits.
Good luck in the third period and the rest of the season.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Todd Berglund, head coach of the Maple Grove Crimson, his team trailing Moorhead 2-1. We'll be back with more of our second intermission and then the third period of play from the Turkey Trot Boys Hockey Tournament at the Plymouth Ice Center.
This holiday season, unwrap the possibilities with a Simonson Salon and Spa experience. Unrivaled hair, face, body, nail services, and beauty products for you or anyone on your list. Spa packages start at only $148. A holiday-inspired bonus gift is yours with a qualifying in-store gift card purchase. Shop our irresistible boutique for trendy fashions, gifts, and accessories in Maple Grove, Plymouth, and Coon Rapids. For dazzling online gift certificates, visit simonsons.com.
We are back at the Plymouth Ice Center and between periods of Moorhead Maple Grove at the CCX Sports Turkey Trot Boys Hockey Tournament, now in its 18th season. I'm joined by Wayzata head coach Pat O'Leary. And Pat, this tournament was started by your predecessor Carl Davis years ago, and tradition that carries on, and I know one that your boys look forward to every year.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny. I was talking to Coach Rooney this morning about it. 3 or 4 years ago when those guys came on staff, this was the only game this weekend, but now everyone seems to be playing this weekend, which is good. I think a lot of kids understand that, and the coaches know that 2 weeks of practice is a long time. These kids want to play games, and then you can evaluate your talent and move on from there. And they're all ready to play, and so it's just a fun weekend of hockey.
you've got another holiday tournament coming up next month. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, now we had the Sports Classic over at Holiday Classic, whatever it was called, over at St. Louis Park, and it was a well-interested and attended event, so they expanded it to 16 teams this year, which is awesome, and they happened to pick Plymouth as one of the host sites, which is, we were all for that, and so yeah, we got 3 good matchups in that, and should be a fun weekend of hockey here too.
Who are some of the other teams that are going to be here?
Hill Murray's coming over, Cloquet's coming down, and you got Blaine, St. Michael. I'm trying to think who else. And there's a couple other ones as well. Elk River, I think maybe. So it's a good group of teams, and should be a fun. I think Blake's here too, so it should be fun.
Not only do you work with the high school team, obviously, but you keep an eye on the Youth Hockey Association, which has been very successful over the years here in Wayzata. Tell me about that relationship between you as high school coach and the youth coaches and the youth players.
Yeah, I mean, when I came on with Carl, I kind of made it my point to just be visible and be around, and just doing the skill work and working with the kids and getting to know all of them. And I think the biggest thing that I try to do with helps is just coach coaches. Explain to them, yes, we should be skating kids 15-20 minutes at practice, meaning the edge work and stuff like that. And skills are very important, and systems don't matter at youth programs, and stuff like that. So, and then the second funny fact about that was this last year was the first group of seniors that I had that I coached since they were advanced mites. So whatever number of years that would be, 9 years of their life or whatever, and then they were my seniors last year. So that shows you how long I've been here for, and how long I knew their families for.
How about the Booster Club and their involvement with the high school program? I know they're the lifeblood of pretty much any high school team in any sport these days, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's, hockey's an expensive sport, obviously, which amongst the many other ones, but just the Booster Club that is phenomenal. I think ours might be a little different than a lot. It's kind of what the school has one huge booster budget that helps out all the programs, make sure they're getting what they need, and which is great because obviously some sports make money from attendance, and some just have athletes that are out there competing just as hard as everybody else, and so they need help with the funds as well. So it's good.
All right, one question about tonight. First of all, your thoughts about your semifinal loss last night, and now facing Edina tonight for third place.
Yeah, I mean, I thought obviously we went over film and talked to our coaching staff and some of the boys about last night, and overall I thought we played pretty well, to be honest with you. 1-1 going to the third, and they scored that power play goal, so we didn't take advantage of our 5-minute major that we had in the first, and we were really impressed with some of our guys. As for tonight, obviously we're playing against our late conference foe. We love playing Edina all the time. It's probably our biggest rival and it's section rival as well, so we watched them yesterday, and they're fast as usual and very skilled, and so it'll be a fun game, I think, for the fans, because both teams will be able to skate and move pucks, and hopefully we can come out and play a good game again tonight.
Thanks for hosting your tournament. Good luck tonight.
Appreciate you guys taking care of us for it.
Pat O'Leary, head coach of the Wayzata Trojans, will be on the ice a little after 7:15 tonight, taking on Edina in the third place game here at Turkey Trot. 1 period to go in regulation in the championship game for 2019. Moorhead leads Maple Grove 2-1. Back with more on CCX after this.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
Zamboni's done its work here on Rink A at Plymouth Ice Center here as we are in the second intermission of the Turkey Trot Championship for 2019. Moorhead 2, Maple Grove 1 as we check out highlights from that second period. And the first one came very early in the period as Moorhead did not waste any time. Nice play by Carter Johnson, flips the pass over to Jess, and then he makes a really nice move to get it over to Caden Triggs, who pumps it home just 19 seconds into second period for a 2-1 lead. Another opportunity here, and Winnicky fighting that one off and then covering, and a little rude welcome for the Spuds. I think it was Dronin who got in there. Yeah, he was roughed up a little bit as he tried to jab it loose. Great chance here, Kukkonen carrying it in, and then tries to drop the pass with a nice defensive play there by Grant Frisch for Moorhead to break that one up. And then a shot here that bounces off the shoulder of Leafblad and then I think off the crossbar. So Maple Grove trying to bank one in there and almost got it done. Slight edge in shots and chances overall for Maple Grove, but generally a pretty even game, and Moorhead's got the 1-goal lead as we get set for the third. Still no penalties in the game. We'll be interested to see if it continues like that in period number 3. The championship is on the line in this one, and later it's our third place game as Edina and Wayzata meet. Watch for that one, of course, here as well on CCX Sports. We'll continue with the Turkey Trot Championship in just a moment from the Plymouth Ice Center.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Hey!
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you love me enough to tolerate my perfect little pets and all their glorious dander, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
Welcome back here to Plymouth Ice Center. We have completed 2 periods here, the championship of the Turkey Trot Tournament. Moorhead leading Maple Grove by a score of 2-1. Maple Grove looking to repeat as champion, although they trail it right now, but still 17 minutes to go as we see the past champions. Edina won it the year before that. Holy Family, who is this year replaced by Moorhead in the tournament. You've seen Wayzata and Edina each had runs of 3 straight titles a couple of times there, and Maple Grove won in the 2011 and then last year, and we'll see who will win it this year. We're underway in the third. 5 skaters aside as we've been all game. As we said, no penalties so far in this one. Johnson getting the pass ahead, and then Triggs dumps it in deep for Moorhead. Now Kukkonen taking the pass, 2-on-2 with Kernan, but a nice play to break that one up by Frisch.
He seems to do that a lot. Frisch, for some reason, we seem to call him when he's breaking up plays.
Pretty good instincts. I mean, he knew when to step up and make that play.
Works with the stick very well.
Banked ahead. Here comes Jacobs from the circle, firing high and wide. And the pass deflected to the corner by Carter Johnson. He does a nice job avoiding the forechecker, but then Kukkonen steals the pass. Back out to the point, and they'll whip it around. That one goes off a skate as Elias tried to put a shot on. Here comes Spuds back the other way. Chopped loose from Jess, but it'll go in deep, and his line will head off on a quick change here. Pass knocked away and recovered there by Dronen. Nelson up with it for Maple Grove. Got the pass away nicely, and then ahead it comes Tyler Oakland in. Fires! Oh, and it got through Hodges, but skids wide of the net. Sneaky little shot there and had Hodges. That one he didn't quite come up with cleanly. Bounces through. And a shot attempt knocked to the corner as Wente didn't get all of it. Back out to the point. Nelson back across. Wente shooting in traffic. Certainly Maple Grove's probably talked about that a little bit more. We need to get in Hodges' way a lot more. Here's Wente shooting another one. That one is blocked.
Well, and they're certainly doing it too. The Crimson are running right in front of that net and making sure they're just distracting Hodges from getting in his way.
And there's a shot and goal. Tyler Oakland got control of it in the slot and pumps it home, and we're even at 2.
Wow, just beat Hodges clean. Nice shot by Oakland there. I'm not sure there was somebody in front of Hodges, Jerry. I think it might have been just a clean shot that beat him hard.
he did a nice job kind of taking his time, but not too much time. He knew that he needed to get rid of that puck and had a lot of, he was right in the middle of the ice, so he really had kind of the whole net to look at here and just lets it rip. Tough shot to stop.
I don't think everybody's in front. Yeah, good control. Kicks it from the skate up to the stick and just revels it in the upper left-hand corner, and we got a tie game. Maple Grove came back again. Darn. Ooh. Yeah, it's a funny thing. We talk about that and coming back all the time. If you continue to do that consistently, you just start to believe that there is no game that you're ever out of. And amazing things begin to happen to you during the course of a season. When you think that you're not out of a game ever, you can make that into a reality.
Scanson and Thomas get the assist on Oakland's goal, so we are evened up at 2. Kind of important for Maple Grove psyche too to get rewarded, early in the period when you generate a nice chance like that. They know they're going against a pretty good goalie, and you don't want to have it in your head that you need a perfect shot to score, even though that was kind of a perfect shot. But you just want to be loose with the puck and play your normal game, and to see one go in and beat him has to make them feel good.
Well, I think you described it really well, though, how he took his time. He took his time, but he didn't take his time. But he made sure he knew exactly where he was going with the puck. And that's the only way you're going to beat Hodges. You got to know exactly where you're going with it.
Crimson, a little jump in their step now. Pass comes out, run. Kukkonen scores, and Maple Grove's in front. Kukkonen took the feed from Nelson. He's had some chances, hasn't quite been able to put him away, but he did that time.
We had a penalty shot last night that he scored on, and numerous opportunities as he's had in this game. He finally buries one in the middle of 5-on-5 play, and boy, the Crimson come out firing and getting rewarded for it.
Minute 35 after the previous one. Nelson does a nice job of drawing the D and then drops it back, and Moorhead's going to say, whoa, we had a little lapse in coverage there in the D zone on that one.
Well, watch Sam Jacobs at 21 and 27. Kearney came back through, and it pulled a D with him off a little bit to the left, which gave Kukkonen an opening to the right, and he got a clean shot 15 feet out. And with his shot, and we've seen it, he ain't going to miss. He can beat Hodges with that quick shot he's got.
Turnover here and another goal. Oakland again.
Oh my.
Wow, has the complexion of this one changed in a hurry. Wow. Oakland scoring for the Crimson, and they have scored 3 goals in just under 2 minutes now. 2 of them by Tyler Oakland. Moorhead's going to use a timeout. Wow, this one has just changed in a hurry.
Well, China took a glance at John Emmerman over there, and he's just in shock. Just expressionless, not believing that his goalie could get beat, 3 times like that, or twice like that. Bing, bang, boom.
And his best defenseman had a giveaway there, too.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he did. Yeah, some of these kids, too. The nice thing about this tournament, too, with the quality of teams, we're seeing a number of kids that are going to get an opportunity later on. Kramer, number 3. It's going to end up at Northern Michigan. And as we know, Mr. Nelson, number 12 with Maple Grove, going to Notre Dame. And Mr. Kukkonen, who just scored, is going to go to Michigan Tech, the engineering school, up in the UP.
And his older brother on that path as well.
Yep. Strangely enough, there's a goalie here that is kind of wide open. I'm sure that won't last very long.
Well, Maple Grove pumped up, and we talked about how, the second period was just kind of a frustrating one for them. A lot of whistles, play was a little slow. Moorhead did a nice job of slowing them up, but we're seeing how Maple Grove can erupt in a hurry here. And 3 goals in a slightly under 2-minute span. Now the Spuds looking to answer back. Just rolled away from Lucas Fear. Back into Moorhead, and it's blocked, and here's a chance for the hat trick. Oakland. Oh, and it got away from him, and he missed the net. Dahlquist plays it back down to the corner.
Well, the third time was not the charm for Mr. Oakland, but boy, I'll tell you what, bad turnover.
And nearly another one here as it's Oakland himself who knocked that one away. Now the Spuds a chance to get a rush as Maple Grove was changing. Push down deep to the corner here. Renty spinning away. Boy, and you can see Maple Grove's not satisfied with the 2-goal lead now. They are flying, looking to just keep their foot on the gas.
The notch went up. The notch definitely went up. You said at the end of the second period, one goal here could make a big difference with them, and it sure has.
Rolled on out of there. We'll see if this one will get there for icing, and it will. So we'll come back to the other end of the ring. Now, if you're Moorhead, what do you do to get some momentum back? Here's a look at Oakland as he tried to drag it around and then just ran out of room to put that one away. He recognized that Hodges was coming at him for the poke check and tried to make the right play, but it just got away from him a little bit.
Well, Moorhead without panicking, like here's a good situation. They win the face-off, get an opportunity in the zone. Just play the game you've been playing and slow Maple Grove down.
Knocked away from Kukkonen, but it goes right to Kernan. Kernan carrying it in. Raymer able to knock that one free and then gets it over to Frisch. Dump right back in. Frisch back to play it. And that pass is intercepted by Nelson. Bounces right in front of the Moorhead bench, and they recover it here. Raymer, nice play to work it back to the weak side there to Jess. And kicked out of there though. Jacobs leaving a pass. Here's Nelson. Out front, Kernan fires and he scores! Maple Grove all of a sudden can do no wrong.
Biggest advantage that they have has been the fact that the Spuds have turned the puck over at wrong times, and they've taken advantage of them. How many odd-man rushes did we see in the first two periods, Jay? How many?
One or two, and we've seen about a half dozen already here.
A nice play here by Nelson. Look at that pass, just really nice. Kernan made sure he kept his head up, and they're beating Hodges up top. They're not going into his guts anymore. They're hitting the upper corners. Well, it's time for the Spuds to find another notch. They've got to pick it up.
Nelson will get the lone assist. Kernan had a pair of goals last night. He gets one here, and he did a nice job of fighting off that back check and able to pump it home. And that's the thing, Maple Grove, they have some scorers on this team. And certainly showing it here as they've erupted. Boy, even though you know what kind of ability they have, there just wasn't a lot in the first two periods that would have given you an indication that we were going to see this kind of outburst from either team.
No, exactly. But they surprised us last night too. I didn't think they'd have that kind of outburst against Edina. Oh my gosh. Boy, Moorhead is just getting sloppy with the puck. It's killing them.
Yeah, and you get the feeling that they're kind of being rushed right now. That they're seeing forecheckers on them, and sometimes maybe feeling them even when they aren't quite there, and coughing the puck up.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, just go back to play your game. You were doing fine, but because they weren't giving up the puck, they weren't making the turnovers like they have. Focus.
Edina winning the junior varsity championship over Moorhead by a 4-0 score over on rink C. Heavy hit thrown there by Leafblad, and he's going to go. Elbowing call coming up. It'll be our first penalty of the game, and it goes against Ben Leafblad of Maple Grove.
We talked in the pregame too about
Moorhead playing a complete game, playing a whole 51-minute game versus the 2 periods they played last night. And boy, the third period, it came back to haunt them. They just weren't ready for the onslaught that was coming.
They're right along the wall. We saw that elbow come up a little bit there as Leafblad had to take Carson Triggs out. So first power play of the game for either team. It comes from Moorhead. But they are now down 5-2 after leading 2-1 to begin this third period. So we'll see what the Spuds can do with the man advantage here. Back out to the point. Stick saved by Winicky on the shot by Gunkel. Puck poke free, and then Dahlquist slams it to the corner. And they'll come out of there with it. Dahlquist gonna float one in. Hodges gets that one caught up in his equipment, so he'll just hang on. 8:22 to go in the third, and things have gotten away from John Emmerman's Spuds here in this third period. 4 straight goals for Maple Grove, all coming in a span of 4:21. Yeah, if you're gonna score about a goal a minute for a while, that's going to be hard for the other team to overcome,
absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. Just the shock factor for the Spuds, they just let it totally get to them. Just totally. They were freaked by the first goal, and then the second one came. Now they're really kind of in shock.
Opportunity here. Ooh, and that one deflecting to the corner as Jess fired. Still just under a minute to go in the power play for the Spuds.
Yeah, I just want to make a point about the aggressive penalty kill maybe go in that last play when Hodges had to freeze it. It was because one of the forecheckers on the penalty kill was down there with the possibility of getting the puck. Just by being that aggressive, they got a face-off inside the Spud zone.
Got to work a little give and go, then put out front. And that one deflecting up and out of play as Caden Triggs firing.
I'll tell you what, Jay, based on what I've seen so far, I like this Maple Grove team right now. They're resilient. They know how to play a complete game. They can bring intensity when they need to. They could have a year this year.
Flip back out of the zone here. Penalty time is over, so Maple Grove looking to build on this 5-2 lead, which, boy, if you went away from the game for a few moments, you might be kind of shocked that you come back. I mean, it was 2-1 Moorhead to begin the period, and then bang, 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 bang. 4 goals in a little over 4 minutes for Maple Grove, and they lead it 5-2. I get the feeling this has a chance to be a pretty fun season for Maple Grove hockey, right? I mean, obviously they've got a lot of tough opponents ahead and all that, and you don't, base everything on an opening weekend, but this is a team with a lot of talent. Wow, that one coming up out of the ceiling area and bouncing down.
You're right. I mean, they play in a tough conference. They've got a tough section too, but things like this that you see are happening carry on through the season. We talked about the Gopher football team barely winning the first 3 games. Well, they won them. And now that they've got this flow, this vibe, this mojo that they've had going this year, same thing here. Yeah. We talk about the Wild, they play a lot of their games from behind, and it's causing a losing record. When these guys get behind Crimson, they don't worry about it too much.
Back out to the point it comes. There's a drive, and that one deflecting just wide. Shot on there. Ooh, and it almost snuck through Hodges. That was Oakland again looking for his third. And
he really got rid of it quick. I think Hodges wasn't quite ready for that, and he just barely got the pads closed in time. And he was, just for a split second, I think he was starting to look over his shoulder to, kind of think like, well, I hope I have it under me here.
Well, this is kind of a test for Hodges right now, too. He's drooping a little bit, Okay, you gave up 5 goals. You can't do anything about it now. Pick it up. Shut him down the rest of the way. He's looking a little discouraged right now.
Here come the Spuds on the rush. Jess putting it out front. Back checker able to stop Caden Triggs from getting a shot away. Now here comes Kukkonen. Kernan in the middle. Kernan lost it. Kukkonen follows up and fires, and a stop by Hodges, and then he was almost bumped back into the net by his own teammate there as Kukkonen was putting the pressure on him.
Boy, it's everything too in this period. That Kukkonen line has really shut down that Johnson line for the Spuds. I mean, most effective line for Moorhead is barely made an appearance this period.
Off the draw, they try to put it out front. Other opportunity, backhand flung toward the corner there by Hicks. And the pass broken up. Spuds able to get it to center, but no further there. And thrown back in here by Maple Grove as Kramer has to go back to get it for Moorhead. Out to center ice. And flip down into the Maple Grove zone here. First back to it is Jonathan Hallstrom getting one of his first shifts of the night. Rink wide pass. Jacobs trying to play it around the D, but Gunkel got in the way of that. A penalty coming up here to Moorhead. Gunderson carrying it in, and now the Spuds will gain control, and we'll have our first penalty call against Moorhead tonight. It's going to be an interference call, and Maple Grove will get its first power play opportunity of the evening, as going off for Moorhead is Caden Triggs.
Okay, so Maple Grove starting out with their second power play, it looks like. Kukkonen's line was on the ice, so they're going to take a break. They'll be on the second half of this power play.
Right there is the penalty as he came up and threw a hit into Kukkonen.
Huh.
Winnicky leaving it for Elias.
The Maple Grove power play was effective last night. They scored 2 power play goals. Let's see if they can keep that up.
Gunkel quickly hammers it out here for Moorhead. Winnicky will swing it around. Now Kernan. Kernan up the right wing, trying to turn the corner and jam it home, and it skids off his stick to the corner, but they keep possession. Back across, they work it around nicely. Here's Kernan, back out high to Elias, shooting, and that went off the blocker of Hodges, but it looks like the net has come off. And we'll get a draw in the Spud zone. 3:50 remaining here in the third. Maple Grove trying to win a second straight Turkey Trot Championship. Last year was a little bit different scenario. They were playing that powerhouse Edina team. Maple Grove was outshot by quite a margin, but they ended up tying it up and went to overtime and eventually a shootout. So the game officially counted as a tie, but Maple Grove winning the shootout to claim the tournament title. And of course, obviously, later on down the line, Edina went on to win the state championship.
That was quite a hockey game. Watching that Edina team was just amazing. They were really, really good.
Crimson control it off the draw. A minute to go in their power play, their first of the night. Thomas working it back out top. Nelson shooting. Puck's loose. Whoa, and then a try and they get it. Second rebound goes in. Cal Thomas will score it for Maple Grove.
Just like he did last night. Late scorer, but he's been involved. Had a couple good shots and a couple good passes, but he finally got an opportunity and buries it. And Maple Grove cashes in.
Created some traffic on the first shot. And the second try didn't make it there, but then you'll see, watch 22 Thomas kind of just stay in position here in that circle, and there's the save
but couldn't make another one as Thomas won the race to the puck.
Good heads-up play by Cal Thomas. So he's been kind of quiet these past 2 nights too, but you can hear his name called at crucial moments, stopping a play and making a pass, and then all of a sudden he pops up and bangs one in. A well-rounded team here in Maple Grove.
Well, they showed it for Thomas, but for Jacobs, but pretty clearly it was Thomas who pumped that one in, I think.
It's great we have replay here. We like that. Makes us right.
You know, if you're the guy that scored, you're tempted. You kind of want to make your way over and say, that was really me, but then you know that your teammates would give you a little bit of grief for that.
A truer statement was never made, really.
So a 6-2 lead now for Maple Grove. Amazing third period outburst here. 5 goals. They were down 2-1. It just feels like so long ago now that was the case, doesn't it? Where you're just thinking, where are their chances going to come from? And they weren't generating much. And then the third period just been a completely different story.
Well, we talked about the second period. You know, we knew they had another level. We knew they had another notch they could go to. It's just that when was it going to happen? Well, welcome to third period. It happened.
Out to the point there, and that one kicked out as Cade Moylan shooting it. .2:15 to go, and there's a high shot. Winicky will glove it as Moylan taking the shot. So all in all, it's going to be a pretty nice way to start the season for Maple Grove. There's a look at some of the Wayzata guys. They're getting set to play the third place game. And be taking on anytime they're playing Edina, they're going to be pumped up for it too, and they want to bounce back. And like Coach O'Leary was telling John, overall Wayzata didn't really play a bad game last night. Hodges just really stood up well in net, and sure they're disappointed you lose that first one, but you know that you got good teams that you're playing, and you got to just come back and try and get it done against the Hornets.
Well, the picture remains. Watching that game last night, Wayzata could have scored 3 goals easily. Now all of a sudden you got a 4-3 game. It doesn't look so bad.
Minute 40 remaining here. Maple Grove is going to claim the championship. It really looked like for a long time that this was going to probably be a 1-goal type game, but somebody forgot to tell the Crimson they have come out firing in the third, put 5 up on the board. And that blast was blocked, but it goes right back to Wente. Now he goes weak side with it, and that one I think hit off the goal post. Now they try and bring it out front. Never quite made it all the way there. Nice strong arm to get that one out of there. Overbowl with one arm. Now a turnover, and here comes Gunderson. Wente knocked aside, and it's pushed right up the middle of the ice. Both teams completing changes, so only a couple players actually pursued the puck there. Bank back out to center as we go under a minute to play. Not the drama down the stretch that we thought there might be, but Maple Grove saying that's just fine with us as they have erupted for 5 goals here in the third and are going to win going away here 6-2 right now with our score with a half minute to play between them and a Turkey Trot championship. There's a shot pad save. And the attempt from Hallstrom. Hallstrom gets it again, throws it toward the corner. Carter Johnson relaying it around here to Spicer. Intercepted at center. Under 5 seconds to play now. And the clock's going to tick down to 0 as in Maple Grove up off the bench, and they are pumped up as they will start the season 2-0 to win the Turkey Trot Championship here at Plymouth Ice Center. And, we knew that they were capable of putting some goals together, Dan, as we said, and but wow, what an explosion there in the third.
Yeah, they were impressive in that last 17 minutes, Jay. They really poured it on. They took it to a level they hadn't played the whole night, and just all of a sudden, they took that one goal, and it was like I said before, pouring gasoline on a fire, and they went at it. Spuds didn't play that bad a game, but it just wasn't good compared to what the Crimson did in the third period.
And you like the fact that they still seem to continue to play with confidence in terms of getting shots. I mean, maybe a little frustrated here and there. You see Kukkonen hitting the crossbar and a couple other times where they got stopped by Hodges, but it didn't seem to phase them in terms of really like gripping the stick too tight.
Nope.
They just kept on coming and figured eventually some of these are going to go, and boy, did they.
Well, you look at the coach here, Coach Berglund, he's that way too. He just says, keep playing your game, let's pick it up. What's shocking, 6 goals against Hodges. That is shocking. Because Hodges is, like I said, he's one of the top goaltenders in the state, top 3. He's up for the Frank Brimsick Award, he's on the list, but that was just a nasty explosion.
Crimson getting their trophy from John Jacobson down on the ice. There's a look. A couple of the captains with John there in his fancy shoes down there. Don't fall, John. Kukkonen holding up the trophy and coming over to the Maple Grove student section as they're fired up in a strong performance here to start the season. And I'm sure when they went to the locker room after the second, they're still very hopeful they're going to win and all that, but I don't know if even they would have thought like, I'm sure we're just going to put 5 more up here and go on to this easy win.
I'll tell you what, if anybody tells you that, they're lying, because there's no way, especially against this goaltender. But, they're showing glimpses of not being good. They're showing glimpses of being great. And, boy, they were fun to watch this weekend. Man, they dismantled Edina in the 3rd period last night. They came out and dismantled Moorhead in the 3rd period.
Well,
Wow.
That's another thing that, you don't overlook is that the conditioning must be there and the depth must be there to really dominated the 3rd period each of these 2 nights the way they did as well.
Well, and you look at the scoring too, it's spread out. It isn't just one guy burying 2 or 3. It's spread out to over. They had 5 people score last night, and did they have 6 people or 5 people score tonight? It had to be spread out close. So
yeah, Oakland got a couple, but otherwise, 4 other scores certainly. So outstanding performance for Maple Grove. We were talking earlier, joking a little bit, that probably the championship team won't get to celebrate quite as long as usual with the fact that we've got the 3rd place game following the championship game this year. So not that they're being ushered off in a hurry, but Wayzata and Edina do need to get out and get to warming up as well here. But Maple Grove a chance to celebrate, and a nice way to go into the rest of the weekend, and then you got a short week before Thanksgiving and everything. It's kind of got to be an exciting time for them to be able to get this championship, and obviously they're hoping to, be winning more hardware as the season goes along. But it's a pretty nice thing when you can start in November with already earning a trophy.
But playing who they played, they're not playing. They're playing Edina. They're playing Moorhead. They're playing Wayzata. I mean, that trophy means something. Trust me, it really means something, especially this early. So they ran through the test and they came through with flying colors. The dominating 2-time champion of this tournament.
Let's go down to John now with a couple of happy Crimson players.
Thanks, Jay. I'm joined by 2 very happy Crimson players, Henry Nelson, Tyler Oakland. And Henry, talk about that 3rd period. I mean, wow, 5 goals.
Yeah, I guess we're just a third period team. We just buried a lot in the 3rd. In the locker room, coach said pick it up, and we did, so it was good.
13 goals in 2 games. Pretty good start to the season, right?
Yeah, for sure. This has been fun. This is a great tournament to have to start off the year.
You can't get too excited over 2 games, but nonetheless, you'd be 2 very good teams to start the season.
Yeah, it's fun to play these teams in this great tournament right off the bat and battle against some top competition in the state right away, so it's good.
What did you see that you really liked out of your team the 6 periods you played here?
I think that we can get down low, cycle the pucks, move it up to the D, get shots, and we just have a lot of speed that can get around a lot of guys, so it's going to be good. It's going to be a fun year.
Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Tyler Oakland had a couple of goals tonight, and tell me about that 3rd period and what you guys did better that period than you did the first 2.
We didn't play well in the first 2 periods, so we need to get something going to get the boys back into it and make it a game. So I just tried to get back in there, work hard, and get my team going.
Was there kind of a frustrating first 2 periods? I mean, Moorhead played you really tough defensively, I thought.
Yeah, we had the puck in their zone a lot in the first 2 periods, but we weren't getting many chances and we couldn't put anything away. So we were getting kind of frustrated, but we finally were able to put them in the third there.
What are your expectations for this team for this season?
I think we can go really far. We got a great group of boys, and we got a lot of scoring ability, and we're a very deep team. I think we can go very far.
How much does it help playing teams like you did these last 2 nights, playing Edina and Moorhead, both quality teams?
Playing great teams early is like, it's just a great way to start the season and get right into it. You know what I mean?
You win the Turkey Trot 2 years in a row. How fun is that?
So much fun. It's just a great tournament, a great atmosphere to start the season, and it's a lot of fun.
Enjoy this weekend. Good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Tyler Oakland, Henry Nelson, and the rest of the Maple Grove Crimson skate off of their 2nd straight Turkey Trot Championship here at the Plymouth Ice Center. Jay and Dan, back to you.
Thank you, John, and congratulations to the Crimson as they pull away to win the championship by a score of 6-2. And as you can see, Dinah and Wayzata warming up for the 3rd place game. That'll do it for the championship as Maple Grove wins the Turkey Trot title. We'll be back later with our live coverage of the 3rd place game, Wayzata and Edina, here on CCX Sports.